There you have it. Here we are, Music Scene Investigation. It is the hit list, and on today's broadcast, we got a lot of good things we're going to do today. We're going to pick out a new band of the month. We're going to let you know what is happening in regards to next year, and our artist and panelist of the month, or actually of the year voting. We're going to be opening that up tomorrow. So that's all going to be very cool, very exciting stuff that we have going on. Of course, I'm here today with our good friend Ian Husbands, all the way over in London. Hey, Ian.
Hello.
How are you doing?
My video's gone bad again, isn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Rubbish.
Skype is Skype. I mean, what are you going to do about it, right?
Rubbish. We had a good video and now it's all gone rubbish. Besides that, I'm okay. It's a bit like living on the Somme here at the moment with all the fireworks going off in the background. But otherwise than that, it's all right.
That's right. It is Armistice Day. It's Veterans Day. And everybody is thankful for those who have served.
It's also Diwali. So happy Diwali to all the Hindus and Sikhs who are tuning in and listening right now. They're probably not. They're probably in their back gardens having fireworks. They'll catch us on the podcast.
There you go. Maybe they will catch us on the podcast. Who knows? And speaking of podcast, I do need to let everybody know that today we are recording the show a little bit earlier. It is actually not being broadcast live due to a technical issue. Basically, what has happened is we got a note earlier today that our online CDN that broadcasts our audio live has had a problem. They had a hard drive crash on them, so our server on that end is down. They're not expecting it to come back up until tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead.
For those of you who want that, for those of the people who want that in English, Rich tripped over the cable earlier and unplugged the server, and he can't find where to plug it back in.
I did not. Honestly, it wasn't me any way, shape, or form. The hard drive crashed. They're expecting to be able to restore the backups, get things back up and running sometime tomorrow. Totally out of our control, but rather than delay the broadcast, we thought we'd go ahead and do it, and we'll just post it as we normally do, and everybody will get to see what happens and who the band of the month is. All right, now...
Because we're good like that.
Exactly. We like doing things on a schedule. All right, let's talk about a couple of things that are actually going to be going on. First of all, the Band of the Year, the Artist of the Year, and the Panelist of the Year. That voting will begin tomorrow. It'll give me the opportunity to add the new Band of the Month winner into the list of voting candidates. So that voting will be open tomorrow.
Do I get to go this year?
No. No, we're not. We talk about this every year. And
I know, and I'm forever hopeful that one year maybe you're going to say, actually, yeah, Ian, your dedicated service to this show over the past 5 years, never missed a week, brought on some great guests, even had guests in your house, feeding them and giving them a drink. You deserve some kind of award.
Okay, here's the deal. Ask again next year.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another announcement that we do need to make. We made this announcement on Sunday, and we're going to reiterate it again here today. After this month, the end of this month, MSI is going to be changing. No longer will we be doing the weekly broadcast as you have known them. That's not to say they're going away completely. We just don't know yet. We're in the process of revamping things and trying to figure out how we're going to accomplish what we do in the best way possible. So in other words, as Ian would say, we don't know what the hell's going on yet, but we know it's not going to be the same as it always has been. So we're still trying to figure it out. Anything?
We've got some ideas, haven't we? We have got some ideas.
Yes, we do.
And that involves music still.
It does. It also involves video, but not video from us necessarily.
Necessarily.
Right.
We'll see about that. But and it also involves guests.
True. Yeah, we're still, there's
So,
still a lot to figure out on this, and so we've got a ways to go yet.
should we just forget about the bands and just have a chat about what we're going to do for a new show? Let's just do that instead.
No, we've actually
All the bands are great. All the bands are great. They've all won.
we've
no?
actually got to select one of these bands. You want me to
Oh,
just
right, okay.
name them off, and you go ahead and select one?
Well, can't we just toss a couple of coins?
Yeah. Go ahead, toss 2 coins, and then we'll layer it down to a third coin toss on who gets band of the month. No, seriously, let's listen to the songs. It won't take that long, and then we can come back and talk about everything else in the time left over.
Ooh.
All right. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and get a band of the month selected, and then we'll make the announcements at the end of the broadcast, because we know that everybody will hang around for the end of the broadcast to listen to the announcements.
I'm going to.
I know I will too, but we have to. We've got to be here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. We do have 4 artists we're going to listen to from the month of October, and we're going to start all the way out. The 4th of October, John Hodgson was on our panel that week when we heard from Duke Michaels, John Sullivan, and Sky Monk. All very interesting songs, and our band or our artist of the week. See, that's what the problem is. You've got all that other garbage going on in the background on your machine, and it's causing your video to crap out.
What garbage?
If you're watching the video, everybody, you saw the little birds flying around his head there a second ago. He didn't think I saw that, but I did. So anyway,
I use it to balance my color.
Yeah, and it eats up your CPU. I'm just saying.
I've got a large CPU, I'll have you know.
Well, that's what everybody likes to believe until it's shown in public. All right, Duke Michaels was our Song of the Week selectee, his track, Good Old Cowboy. And it's a country tune. We're going to give a listen to it right now as our first song on the hit list today. So here it is, everybody. Please enjoy track number 1 on the hit list. It is Duke Michaels and his track, Good Old Cowboy.
His electric brand is made in Japan. All he has to do is just plug it in. He brands those cattle like they're going out of style. It's a little bit of work and it takes a while. He has a cellular phone in his pickup truck, 4-wheel drive in case he gets stuck. He's a good old cowboy living in the modern days. Puts on his boots and his Wrangler jeans. He's a real crowd pleaser, if you know what I mean. Goes for coffee at the coffee shop, uses a biplane to dust his crop. Then he goes to his computer and his fax machine and talks to people that he's never seen. He's a good old cowboy living in the modern days. A mechanical bull on Friday night, a 6-pack of beer and a barroom fight. Then he goes home like he knows he should. From Billy be bad to Johnny be good. Then he turns on his TV with remote control, tunes to a station with a rodeo. He's a good old cowboy living in the modern days. A mechanical bull on Friday night, a 6-pack of beer and a barroom fight. Then he goes home like he knows he should. From Billy be bad to Johnny be good. Then he turns on his TV with remote control, tunes to a station with a rodeo. He's a good old cowboy living in the modern days. Yeah, he's a good old cowboy living in these modern days.
Duke Michaels, good old cowboy. Well, Ian, what do you think about that track again after hearing it for a second time?
Again, I'm not a country fan at all, but you can't fault how good this track is. It's well produced, it's well performed, it's well written. There's some nice tongue-in-cheek lyrics going on in there. Yeah, it's all round a good slice of good old country stuff that you want to sit down and watch the Dukes of Hazzard to.
Yeah, I think it would be good on TV. I would agree with that. It is, it's your typical genre country. It is your cookie cutter country, as we like to call it, or as I like to call it. I didn't think there was anything special about it. It was well put together. It was well sung. It was well played. Um, so it's not bad. Not a bad track at all. And obviously for that week, it was the Song of the Week selection. So that's all good there.
And deservedly so. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it may be cookie cutter, but it just delivers everything you want. It's as you said, it's nothing groundbreaking, but its familiarity is also part of its goodness, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with you. I think, I can't say too many bad things about it. And, I won't even try. So I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you.
You were square dancing behind your desk before, like during the summer. Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
yep. Got my boots out, dusted them off. And yeah, that's exactly what exactly what I was doing. All right, let's move on to the next track. The next track is from the 11th of October. Tom Chianti was on our
Who?
panel. Tom Chianti, Tommy. And
Oh,
we
so, yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
got into a little argument that week on the 11th of October. I'm on the fence. Their track Fair Weather Friend was our Song of the Week selectee. Joey Cochran and Paradigm Lost were actually on the broadcast as well with Apple of My Eye and One Toe, respectively. And we got into a little discussion about Joey Cochran's track, Apple of My Eye. You thought the lyrics were very cute, and I thought it was a waste of breath, if I remember correctly.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's vaguely coming back to me now.
Yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, I'm on the fence. Fair Weather Friend was the Song of the Week selection, and we're going to take a listen to that one right now. So here it is, song number 2 on the hit list. This is I'm on the Fence with Fair Weather Friend on the hit list. Got one of those fade outs on it, but that is Fair Weather Friend by I'm on the Fence. Let's bring Ian back in and talk about it a little bit. Ian, this song, I remember it well. I had forgotten how long the fade in at the beginning was and the fade out at the end was. It was just excruciating to me. Still, Song of the Week selectee. So what do you remember about it?
Not a lot, to be honest. You said at the start of this that you and I had a disagreement because I thought the lyrics were cutesy and you thought they were.
That was
not.
on Joey Cochran's song.
Right, okay, cool. Right. Sorry, I was confused. I said this one hasn't got lyrics on it.
No.
That's why I seemed a bit confused.
I like this one because overall the production was better than the other songs we listened to at the time. And because it didn't have contrived lyrics and overall bad microphone utilization, which is what, the biggest problem with Joey Cochran's, besides the contrived lyrics, was the poor use of microphone. I mean, it sounded like he had a styrofoam cup over the top of his microphone as a pop filter, as opposed to a proper pop filter. And it was just
maybe you did. Maybe that's the effect he was going for.
Well, I really doubt it. But he may have had styrofoam over it for all I know. But it was really very, very poorly done. But this song, Fair Weather Friend, had the best overall production sound to it, in my opinion, that week.
If I remember rightly, it was a particularly bad week. I don't remember voting for this. Did I vote for this?
No, you did not. Tom and I did, and you actually voted for Apple of My Eye by Joey Cochran because you liked the lyrics so much.
Yeah. I remember now. You see, having not heard that song for a while, it's all a bit vague.
Yeah.
This, from my point of view, is a good piece of production. But it doesn't really go far enough for my likings. You've got a bunch of loops being used there. You've got some nice filters being used there. You've got a very good sonic escape being used there. But it doesn't really push any sort of boundaries.
Right.
It's not doing anything new or fresh. It could be in the back of a film or a documentary or a corporate piece or something like that. But I don't see it doing much more than that. I mean, it's certainly not a commercial sort of trance tune just yet in my mind.
All right, makes perfect sense. And like I say, after hearing it again, the thing that stuck out to me in my mind, other than the fact it was a good piece of production all around, I thought the elongated fade in, fade out. The only place this piece of music could be used, in my opinion, is within film of some type, whether it's corporate, documentary, or otherwise. It couldn't be used anywhere else, I don't believe.
No, not in the state it's in. No.
Yeah.
And overall, the piece was too long. If you are aiming for a sort of film market, they're going to be wanting things like a 20-second mark. They're going to want a 30-second mark. They're going to want a minute mark, maybe a 2-minute mark if you're lucky. That they're going to want this sort of whittled down to small pieces. So presenting it as one massively long track is not necessarily a good idea.
Right. I totally concur with that. All right, let's move on. Susie Chase joined us on the 18th of October. We heard 3 tracks that week as well. Track 1 from 243 Link. Kezaiyah was track number 2 that week, and Nikki Chris was track number 3. Kezaiyah and her track Away was selected as our song of the week for that week. And we're going to take a listen to it right now and just to remind everybody what it sounded like. So here is Kezaiyah and her track called Away on the hit list today. Here it is, everyone. Enjoy.
Ups and downs. Sometimes the weight of the world turns your smile to a frown. And when I feel like I can't make it another day, I call on my Savior to take me away. I wanna go to a place where there's no space or time. Lord, take me high above the mountains. I wanna ride on the cloud, take me away. Take me away. Take me away. Take me away. Everybody goes through some ups and downs. Sometimes the weight of the world turns your smile to a frown. And when I feel like I can't make it another day, I call on my Savior, say, Lord, take me away. I wanna go to a place where there's no space or time. Lord, take me high above the mountains. I wanna ride on the cloud away. Take me away. Oh, take me away, away. Take me away. I wanna go to a place that is higher than under the shadow of your wings. I wanna ride on the cloud, high above the mountains. Soar with you. Lord, please take me away. I wanna be with you. I gotta be with you, Lord, where you are. Oh, I wanna be where you are. Take me to that place, Lord, where I can seek your face. Oh, I wanna be where you are. Take me high, Lord, to that secret place.
That is Kezaiyah with Away as our number 3 track on the hit list today. Ian, I like this song aside from a couple of things. And the things I like about it are the fact that it's well put together. It sounds like it's well put together. There are a couple of problems for me with the lead singer and the backup singers. And really, other than that, the only other issue I take aim at are the guitars in the chorus parts. They're drowned out. They could have been EQ'd to bring them out a little bit better, I think. Other than that, I love the song. I like the lyrics of the song. I think, again, it's well put together. I would have liked to have seen the lead singer a bit more spontaneous. I'd like to have seen the backup singers EQ'd a little bit differently to make them a little bit brighter sounding. But I like the song overall.
I think, this is the one I described as Bruce Hornsby in the Range. That song, "That's Just the Way It Is, Some Things Will Never Change." The intro to this sounds a lot like that. I was just waiting for that piano riff to come in. Diddling, diddling, diddling. It didn't. The girl's got a great pair of lungs and an absolutely fantastic voice. I was kind of happy with her performance. I didn't think she needed to be any freer. Not necessarily because she can't or shouldn't, but there is a lot going on in that track. And, at some points in time, rhythmically, she was missing a few things that the drums were doing. That there was a sort of, in that sort of chorus, there's kind of like a sort of pushed stop. It's just for a really brief stop, and she kind of just sings over it rather than hooking in with it. And things like that, just little things that I would have liked to have seen. I think the mix is very hot. I don't think the mastering on this has been very well done. And I don't say this very often, but vocally, I think it is too dominant. I like a dominant vocal, but this does push stuff to the back. The drums get lost in that chorus and all them big vocals coming in. I like the gospel feel. That's really, really nice. Again, would have liked to hear them voices blended together a little bit better as well. They were all very prominent, and it's great that you can hear all the individual voices, but that is detracting again from that lead vocal, which her not pushing it and going anymore was actually doing me a favour, because it was just going to complicate the matter even more. You have got a great song here. There is a lot of good production going on. Mix-wise, it does need some attention. Mastering-wise, maybe it needs some attention as well. You're right, Rich, the guitars on that chorus, there were some nice guitar riffs in there. There were, but they needed to be warmer and fuller. Yeah. They were very sort of sitting around the mids, really EQ'd heavily off that bass, which is great. The bass came through and the guitars weren't swamping it, but, I think they took the guitars a bit too far on that. Yep. No, I agree with you there. Definitely agree with you. All right. There was some clipping going on as well, which is why I think mastering-wise it needed a look at. I think that was mentioned during the show back in October as well about the clipping. All right, yeah. And I think Pinky out in the audience was one of the guys who mentioned it. So, all right. He's got to be for that. Yep. All right. Deborah Russell joined us on the 25th of October. And the 25th of October, we heard from Drifting Grove, which was their track called Just a Girl, Waking Ugly with their track Zombies, and Wiz J with Good College. Waking Ugly, their track Zombies. I like the name should be Waking Zombies, I think. It was Halloween as well that week. It was the Halloween weekend. Deborah Russell joined us. Tom Penrod, Pinky himself, also sat on the panel. That was a very good Halloween lineup. It was indeed very good. And, you've got my ugly mug, your ugly mug, Pinky's ugly mug, and Deborah's not ugly at all. So, I was wondering where you were going with that. I was wondering where you were going to go with that. I was just going to say, we scared everybody away, and she was just sitting there looking pretty. So, she was the rose between the thorns, darling. The rose between the thorns. Exactly. That's the best way to look at it. Anyway, Waking Ugly, their track Zombie, is the 4th track on the hit list today. Let's take a listen to that right now, and we'll be back in just a moment. Here it is. This is
Waking Ugly with their track Zombies on the hit list.
You and me, everybody else we see have all we need, because it's all just come from greed. Our friends, they say we're not supposed to live that way, but we don't care, even if it's not that fair. We go around again, up and down and then we go around again and again and again and again and again. Like zombies, we never see the days that really seem okay. Keep going until there's no more play. Is this the only way? When was the last time that you saw the sunshine play against your hair? We go round again, round and round and then. So it's true, we haven't even got a clue. Spend what we make, don't save a cent for goodness sake. See, no, the ads ain't gotta have the latest fads. So hey, buy it now and pay for it no matter how. We go round again, up and down and then we go round again and again and again and again and again. Like zombies, we never see the days that really seem okay. Keep going until there's no more play. Is this the only way? When was the last time that you saw the sunshine play against your hair? We go round again, round and round and then. Stop for coffee, stop for cake, stop for lunch, I think I'm overweight. Stop for coffee, stop for cake, stop for lunch, I think I'm overweight. Stop for coffee, stop for cake, stop for lunch, I think I'm overweight. Now my clothes are all too small, must go back to the shopping mall. Like zombies, we never see the days that really seem okay. Keep going until there's no more play. Is this the only way? When was the last time that you saw the sunshine play against your hair? We go around again, we go around again, we go around again and 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 again.
Waking Ugly like zombies, or actually just zombies. I made that whole like part up. All right, Ian, I'm going to bring you back in. I make stuff up all the time. You know this already, right?
You just can't trust the man.
You know, it is what it is. I do what I do. All right, tell me about Waking Ugly Zombies. What do you like? What do you dislike? And what do you think about it?
There's a lot to like in this track. It's, if this was in the hands of someone like Avril Lavigne, I think it would have been a hit by now.
Yeah.
But that is my criticism of this track. I love it. It's great. It's got a good groove. It's got a great vocal. It's got a good hook. Some good performances going on there. But it doesn't, again, push it quite far enough. I want to hear that more skater boy sound. The guitars on here are good, but they're set back. It's the bass and the drums and the vocal are driving this track. I want to hear more guitars. I want to hear this more skater punk. I want to hear the sort of Sum 41, the Blink 182 type guitars on this. Really, really pushing it and really, really sort of driving that groove. And then I think her vocal, I like her vocal. I like her vocal a lot. I love the first verse, the intro on this with her vocal. It sits really nicely. And then she kind of launches into that chorus and she does a great job of it. But again, I want to hear her a bit more shouty, a bit more attitude. She's got a lot going on, but I think she can give it more. there's a little bit of a country thing creeping in there. Lose that rocket and leave, and then I think you've got an outstanding track.
No, I can agree with you on virtually everything you said. I had three small quibbles with this particular track. Number one, the backing vocals, the beginning of that chorus where they come in like zombies, that was spread so far in stereo, left and right. That just drove me nuts. Like zombies. It was just spread to the wall, left and right. Just killed me every time it came in because that was all I heard. And it really, no. It really wiped out a very cool part of that chorus that I'll bet nobody even heard. There is some real cool sweeping synthesizer that plays in that chorus and probably no one even heard. And then the last quibble I have with this is, why is it that whoever arranged this track, or the drummer, one of the two, think that they need a different snare sound 3 different times in this track? There are 3 different snare sounds that are being used in this track. The second one,
how common that is.
Yeah, but the second one drove me absolutely batty because it was too damn loud. And then the third sound they used was okay. They should have used that and only had 2 changes instead of the 3. But 3 different snare sounds was just outrageous in my mind. So those are the only 3 quibbles.
When you've got so many toys, sometimes you have to play with them.
Well, play with them on 3 different tracks. That would have been fine. But other than that, I love the song, and I agree with you. I think this could be a hit if it was done properly and done, as you say, a little bit more Skater Boy, a little bit more oomph into it. I agree with you.
I mean, just it's bordering. It's so nearly there.
Yeah.
That they just need to push it the extra mile, crank those guitars up to 11 rather than 7.
Exactly. And there's a thing that everybody needs to realize, that when we're sitting here talking about this music and we say, I've got 3 problems with it, the drum, that doesn't mean we don't like it, and that doesn't mean everyone else won't like it. You guys may be sitting out there and think we're nitpicking, and yeah, we are. That's what we do.
That's why you sent us the track.
Exactly. That's what we do, and we're happy to do it. That doesn't mean we don't like the music. If we don't like it, we'll say we don't like it. But, what we do is we just tell it like it is, and we hopefully, by doing so, can help the artists make it better if they choose to take that advice and move with it.
And when most people accept that Rich actually doesn't like anything, then you know where you're at.
It's high praise coming from me if I actually say I like something then. So, yeah. I should take over Simon Cowell's duties on whatever show he's on these days. He does so many different ones, I'm sure he could use a little time off.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, except you haven't got the money, or...
I haven't got the money, I haven't got the hair, I haven't got the good looks, and I have, any of that.
The high waistband trousers.
Now, I could do those, though. Yeah, that's easy. Not a problem. Not a problem. All right, Ian, we do have to select a band of the month that will move on to participate as a nominee in our Artist of the Year voting, which is going to take place starting tomorrow. So let's take a listen. Here we had Duke Michaels, his track "Good Old Cowboy." We had "I'm on the Fence" and their track "Fair Weather Friend." We also had Kezaiyah with "Away," and last but not least, Wakin' Ugly with their track "Zombies." So what are you thinking? I'll tell you what I'm thinking. In my mind, it comes down to 2 different tracks, and those were the
1
last.
and 4.
No, actually 3 and 4 in my mind.
Okay.
Between Kezaiyah, that track "Away," and then Waking Ugly with "Zombies." It comes down to those 2 tracks in my mind. And the only reason I did not say 1 and 4 is because I think that track number 1 could have had a little bit more steam to it, a little bit more oomph in its giddy up. If I'm sticking to that country motif there, then it did, and I think it would have been a
bit more high in its source.
Exactly, I think it would have been a great country track if it had a little bit more oomph in the giddy up. Kezaiyah's "Away," I liked it. I thought it was a good track. Wakin' Uglies, it's kind of tilting the scale Waking Ugly's way, in my opinion. But I want to hear what you have to say about things as well.
Well, personally, yeah, 3 and 4 are the ones for me. I thought you would go with track number 1, personally.
Just because I live in a hick cornfield thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a cowboy hat and 2 pistols that you like to go shooting with. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
You were telling me you bought a horse next.
No horses.
Just going to keep riding that llama that you normally ride.
Yeah, I'm just going to ride the llama, and yeah, that's exactly right. It's cheaper. What can you say?
Ride the llama and tweak with the lemurs.
Exactly.
Twerk with the lemurs, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, do I go Disney meets Bruce Hornsby in the range with a very wonderful female vocalist on? Or do I go probably the more commercial route with the sort of pop punk girl who's got an equally as good a voice in a different genre?
Yeah,
it's between the girls.
It's a tough decision. There is no doubt about it. My thinking here, I mean, when you really look at the two, I mean, granted, 2 totally different genres, totally different tracks, a way of getting the same thing across. Great music. I got to go with the higher energy one in my mind. Higher energy, to me, is something, that just puts a smile on your face that much quicker. And from the very opening of Waking Ugly's Zombies, the way that guitar comes in, it's just something that put a smile on my face when I first heard it and still does. Even though I do have some issues with it, that's the way I'm going to have to go, I think.
I'm with you. I think, I'm more of a zombie sort of person than I am a Disney sort of person, to be honest. So let the zombies rule the world. Let's give the vote to the undead, and we'll get necromancing on next show.
All right. Well, Waking Ugly and their track Zombies is going to be our Band of the Month selection on the hit list this month. And congratulations to them. We're going to make sure we get the voting up for our Artist and Panelist of the Year starting tomorrow afternoon. You want to make sure you're able to vote in that, so please check it, musicsceneinvestigation.com, and you'll find a announcement at the top of the page you can click on to take you to the actual voting page, or you can just look under the contest area and find it there as well. All right, the announcements we need to make, Ian. Let's see, did we make all of them? We told them that today was pre-recorded due to an outage. That the show is going to be changing. We didn't speculate or talk about details on what we're changing to because we still don't know yet. Did we miss anything?
But we are probably going to make this the last hit list show.
That's true, yes.
Which, sorry for the other artists, but obviously everything must come to an end. And, we've put a lot of time and effort into this. And again, thank you to everyone who's been on the show.
And, we do have to say, we've been doing this for 5 years. And
5 years, indeed.
And we've had a great time doing it. And a lot of artists we've had the opportunity to hear, listen to, and talk with. And we're pleased as punch to have been able to do that and support indie music and indie artists in particular. In at least trying to use what skill we have to help them make their music a little bit better.
I didn't know skill came into it, but yeah, we've certainly put our time. But yeah, I mean, look, thanks to people, Tommy, Andrea, James, Leslie John, Dave Pereira, Paul Miro. I mean, there's a whole host of my personal friends that have got involved in this with us, of Rich's personal friends that have got involved with us. So thanks to all of the guests. There's too many to name everyone by one. All of the bands and all the guys that have regularly joined us in the chat room. We've had a few people that have been with us for 5 years. They've enjoyed the show with us, and they've been there virtually every week, talking about the music, having fun, having a laugh. Thanks to all of them. And to if you just tuned into a few shows, I got a really cool email from what was our band this week?
Last week's winner of the Fundamentals, yeah.
The Fundamentals, our Song of the Week band this week. Band called the Fundamentals, and they'd actually gone back through a load of shows that we have up on our website, musicsceneinvestigation.com, and our YouTube channel, and they'd found music that they liked, and they went out and spent their hard-earned cash to buy this music from iTunes and CD Baby and other places. And I think that's really, really cool. I mean, that is the sort of email I would have liked to have seen every week, which unfortunately didn't come.
Yeah, no, and that's, one of the things that happen is never do indie artists or people who run shows like what we run get any feedback, and it's a situation that maybe one of these days everything will turn around and it'll happen. But,
let's not, while we're here, forget all our sponsors as well, the people that invested not just time into us, but, money and prizes and stuff like that. People over at landa.com, the people, Indie Music Bus, Water, Butterflies Radio, Indie Music Coalition magazine, and what else have they got? They got Twitter Tuesday Live, yep. Mark and Carol, the guys over at Live to Play, Bill and Bob. Bill and Bob sounds like a children's program, doesn't it?
Bill and Bob. It's the Bob and Bill show.
Bob show.
All right. Now, one of the things I'd like to mention, I think if we had to pick a favorite song, if you had to pick a favorite song so far, because we don't know who the artist of the year is going to be yet for this year. If you had to pick a favorite song out of all 5 years that we've been doing this, what would it be? Just between you and me off the top of your head.
Oh, Jesus. Do you know what? I have actually gone out and bought stuff from some of our Song of the Week artists and hit list artists. And there's been, I've got so many good songs. Monty Pittman, Stuck in the Middle, being one that what's the guy that everyone thought was a woman?
The John Miller, I believe. The John Miller
band? Yeah, John Miller Band. Yeah, is it Old Fashioned Ladies?
Yeah.
I've got their album is absolutely fantastic. I can't pick a favourite, Rich. I mean, 5 years of doing this.
I've got my favourite already picked.
It is what it is, Rick Brindell.
Nope, actually, that's not it. No, that is not it. It's actually my first of all, my favorite group throughout the whole 5 years, Project Sirius. Those guys, I think, are phenomenal. They have some growing up to do, but I think a phenomenal group. Second of all, my favorite song that appeared on the show in all 5 years, and of course everybody knows I have no opinion because I don't sit on the panel. Rather, just as host of the show, I get to listen to everything and have a lot of fun doing it, was the one where all the guys sang with just the piano. I like you and you hate me. I just love that track.
What about standout artists? Not just the songs, but the actual artists themselves. Like people like Weird Bugger, who actually came on the show and was an absolute hoot.
Stepdaddy,
yeah.
And there are
Jamie Allen Murad, Brittany Bexton.
Yep, so many good artists, and we've had the opportunity to speak with and sit down and talk to. And
not forgetting Sam from Bollery as well.
Yep. And some great music that we've had the opportunity to listen to and to share with everybody over the number of years as well has been a lot of fun. So
now this is a question I'm not going to answer. All right.
Okay.
But how about some of your standout guests over the years? I mean, a lot. I can't answer this question because, as I said earlier, a lot of the guests have been personal friends of mine or have become very good personal friends of mine over this time. And I don't want to single anyone out. I enjoy their company.
I will. Let me do it this way. Let's change that question around. Of all the British guests, who is my favorite? And for you, of all the U.S. guests, who is your favorite?
All right. Okay, that's fair enough.
All right. Of all the British guests we've had on, I've got two favorites, obviously. From my perspective, what I consider favorite doesn't mean I discount or take away from anybody else because they're all great people. But in my mind, two just people who stick in my head and I think about a lot. Sam Kelly, an amazing guy. I really like Sam. And second of all, Mr. John Schroeder, who couldn't respect the hell out of and just think everything in the world about the man who brought Motown to Great Britain. I mean, for crying out loud, the man is a legend and should be should be treated exactly that way, as a legend, a national treasure over there.
They're top blokes, both of them. Good choices. Good choices. And from an American point of view, we've had so many cool people on it as well. And the one of the people that really sticks out in my mind has to be Ken.
Yeah, that voice guy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We haven't had him on a lot, as much as we should have done over the 5 years.
See, he likes.
But when he has come on, he's been a blast.
And he's crazy. He's totally insane. Bigfoot, Doctor Who. He's a nutcase.
And some interesting tales to tell as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I've been going back through a lot of the old footage, and the people like the show where it was the 4th of May, and we had Ian Blackwood and Zach from Walk Off the Earth on the show. Zach isn't actually in Walk Off the Earth. He works with them, but that was a blast, absolute blast. And everyone was in Star Wars t-shirts except for you.
I don't own a Star Wars t-shirt.
It's the 4th of May. You go out and buy one for it. That's it. It's a special. It's like Christmas, man.
It is what it is. I just have no desire to get a Star Wars shirt.
There you go. And the award for most quoted artist on MSI has to go to Rick Brindell.
That's true. That is true. He's probably quoted more around the world by people who have never heard that song, and it really is. It fits perfectly. Exactly. It is what it is. Well, let's wrap this up, Ian. I know that normally we do this show on Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month, around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is god-awful late in the UK.
It's about now we normally start.
Exactly. So I'm going to let you go. We're going to wrap this up. We'll play out with Wakin' Ugly and their track, The Zombies, as our new band of the month here on the hit list. So, sound good?
I'm just going to call in my corner and cry now.
All right. Well, you go ahead and do that. We'll play it out here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Join us on this Sunday. We'll have an MSI regular show. It'll be cool.
It will.
It will. Guaranteed.
Promise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every one of them are cool. All right, here we go. This is Wakin' Ugly with their track Zombies, our band of the month.
You and me, everybody else we see have all we need, because it's all just come from greed. Our friends, they say we're not supposed to live that way, but we don't care, even if it's not that fair. We go around again, up and down and then we go around again, and again and again and again and again. Like zombies, we never seen a day that really seem okay. Keep going until there's no more play. Is this the only way? When was the last time that you saw the sunshine play against your hair? We go round again, round and round and then. So it's true, we haven't even got a clue. Spend what we make, don't save a cent for goodness sake. Sing all the ads, ain't gotta have the latest fad. So hey, buy it now and pay for it no matter how. We go round again, up and down and then we go round again, and again and again and again and again. Like zombies, we never seen a day that really seem okay. Keep going until there's no more play. Is this the only way? When was the last time that you saw the sunshine play against your hair? We go round again, round and round and then coffee, stop the cake, stop the lunch, I think I'm overweight. Stop the coffee, stop the cake, stop the lunch, I think I'm overweight.